So today, which is the fourth class, we are going to do data source and then display of data, display of raster data, and then working with image. Okay, now when I talk about data source, from the beginning of this class, we talk about different sources of GIS data. Okay, some of the sources is what we have been doing, trying to create the data ourselves, possibly pick a coordinate and then bring out the point or bring out the polygon that you have. It's also a data, so you are the primary source of that particular data. But there are some data that is already exists. So instead of you passing through stress of getting those data, you can actually get it from the particular locations. Possibly somebody can copy a data for you and then you use it. For example, you have organizations that have GIS data in different locations. Possibly in Kaduna now, we talk about KAGIS. If you need some data in Kaduna, and then you possibly make a request to Kaduna Geographical Information System, you understand, they will actually provide the data for you, especially when you are using it for study. Okay, so the same thing, other different states has different organizations that are in charge of GIS data or an environmental data generally. Okay, so now there are different ways you can get your data. One of the option is the fact that we can reference old map. For example, now we have been picking a new map, but what if you have we have been picking a new point or new data, right? Trying to create a new data. But there's a possibility for us to create data from the old data we have. That is transforming the old map now to a digital map, to a digital data. Okay. But today we are going to focus on downloading the data from the site. So if you need any data, for example, if you need all the schools, maybe all primary school or secondary school in Nigeria, or maybe a government building in Nigeria, or a government building in your state, you understand? What you need to do is either, first of all, if you have a GIS community, for example, now, we created a group for this particular class, okay? So there are different community, even on social media, there are different community for GIS. You can actually request, anybody have a data on so data. We do have have data for information. For example, schools, hospitals, maybe police stations and all that. Different any kind of data as far as you are dealing with locations, you can actually source for it. But now, without going through those stress of asking for data from individual, you can actually go to a different organization where you can source the data yourself. Okay, so today we are going to focus on one site. Okay, there are different websites where you can download data from. Okay, you can on your own, you can even search Google and ask for where can I get GIS data from? Where can I download a shapefile from? Okay, because what you are downloading is either you are downloading a shapefile or maybe a CSV or JSON, different data formats, GIS data formats. Okay, so now today we are going to use what we call grid 3. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, when you say the data source,
Yes.
I was thinking you are going to list different data sources, then we treat the ones that you want us to treat. But you said you're referencing then digitizing all that. Then you are now going to another so I'm confused. I want us to maybe to list data sources of data, then we go like that.
Okay, now from the beginning of this class, if you watch where we talk about, I think our second class. Okay, our second class we talk about. In fact, there was a slide that I used for data source when we talk about the data format. Okay, so there are different websites that is listed where you can download a data from. Okay, now but we are talking about data source. I says that one of the data sources is what we have been doing since. For example, we have been picking coordinate, which is creating the data for ourselves, right? So it's either you create your
Yes, sir.
data for yourself, or you are downloading the data from a particular website, or you are getting the data from an organization. So the two data source we have is primary and secondary. Do you understand? Because it's either you are getting the that like you send your field staff to the field and pick the coordinates yourself. You understand? Or you can get it
Okay.
from any organization. Now, getting it from any organization can be downloading it from website or requesting it from an organization. So whether you are requesting it from an organization or you are downloading it from a site, definitely you are not the primary persons or the primary producer of that particular data. You understand? But the point is that in terms of
Yes, sir.
data source and all that, in terms of data source and all that, we know how we get data. Apart from GIS data, there are a lot of things that we do that we generate a lot of data. Okay, we know where we get data from, we know how we get data. But this particular one, I'm trying to emphasize more on knowledge GIS data. Okay,
Hello, sir.
yes,
Hello, sir.
yes, I'm
I
here.
think someone should be muted because he just joined and
Yes, I've done that. I've done that already.
so many noise in the background.
Yes, yes, I've done
Okay,
that.
sir. Okay, thank you.
Yes, yes,
Okay, sir.
yes. So, okay, so now we talk about for this particular class now, we are going to download data. So
Yes, sir.
this training is for you to actually, know where you can get your data from. Okay. Apart from what I'm going to mention here, on your own, you can actually search Google, you can see more places. I cannot list all the locations because there are many, you understand? There are some that I don't even know about them, you understand? But based on the ones that I use personally, I'm going to show you one of them that we use, and then it's easy for you to download data from. Okay. And the name
Yes, sir.
is Grid 3. Okay. Grid 3. So we are going to log into our Chrome now, our browser, so that we can actually source those data. Okay. So I'll share my screen, and then I'll open Chrome. All right. All right. So now this is Chrome. So you can, first of all, what you do, as I said, we are going to download our data from Grid 3. Grid 3, GRID, then 3. Okay. Now I'm having grid3.org.org. Okay. And then I'm having another one, Grid 3 Nigeria. These are different website. Okay. Although not that the data are the same, but this Grid 3 Nigeria or grid3.ng. First of all, let me click on grid3.org. Okay, this is the environment of grid3.org. I'll open another new tab, and then I'll type Grid3 Nigeria. Grid3 Nigeria. Now, under Grid3 Nigeria, we are using this grid3.gov.ng. Now, this particular grid3.gov.ng belongs to a Nigerian government. Okay, this particular website belongs to a Nigerian government. The downloading data here is free. Now, this particular site also, it belongs to an individual, belongs to an organization, okay, but not owned by Nigerian government, or is not owned by Nigerian, okay. Also, now, you can download data from this Grid 3, or you can download data from this Grid 3, okay? But mostly, I use this particular Grid 3 because it has more data than this gov.ng, okay? This particular website was developed by an NGO, and then it was reported that Nigeria government bought it from them, okay? That is the news about it. but that is not our concern. Our concern is getting our data as we can from this particular website. So we are going to use this particular Grid 3. So on your own, you can go to Grid 3 Nigeria and download your data, but I'm going to show you the step on how you can download from any of these websites. Okay, so I'll click on this particular Grid 3, and then I scroll down. Okay, now from here, we have all data, we have boundaries, we have infrastructure, we have population, we have settlement, and then we have settlement extent, and then we have settlement points. Okay, now let's assume you want boundary. Let's say you want to download the a shapefile of maybe your state or your country, or a shapefile of your local government and all that. When I say shapefile now, is either you are downloading point, line, and polygon. Okay, if you remember. Okay, so now if it is boundaries that I want, I'll click on boundary. If it is infrastructure that I want, I'll click population estimate, settlement extent, settlement point. Okay, so depend on what you want. All right, so now I'll click on boundary. Let's start from boundary. Okay, now for boundary, we have boundary data in Nigeria, and then we have boundary data in Democratic Republic of Congo. All right, but we are concerned about Nigeria. I want to download a boundary data from Nigeria data. So you understand? So I'll click on this Nigeria. You see this is Nigeria shape, and there is Nigeria here. I'll click on Nigeria. Okay, now they say, are you downloading Nigeria map, or you are going to data catalog? So I'm going to data catalog of Nigeria. So I'll click on it. Okay, so now these are different data we have for Nigeria boundary. We have Nigeria state boundary. That is different, all the states in Nigeria. Nigeria ward boundary. This is all the ward in Nigeria. I remember during this election, one of these politicians actually asked us to actually provide this ward boundary for him, and then also the polling unit. Okay, we are able to actually get the word, but we talk about the polling unit in Nigeria. The point of all the polling units in Nigeria, we don't actually get it. We search for it. We discovered that even INEC itself, they don't have it in their site. I don't know if they have it privately for their personal use, but they don't have it in their website. They only have the list of all the polling units, but it's not with coordinates. But you know, as a GIS personnel, we are actually concerned with the coordinate, the location of the place. So you can download the whole the word in country, that is political word, right? Then you can also download the local government area boundaries in Nigeria, and then many other words. You see that we are having 1 to 3 of this result. So you can. So now you can just download anyone here. So let's say we want the state boundary, right? So I'll click on this state boundary. Okay, so we have to exercise patience because we are dealing with internet now. Okay, so now we have a Nigeria state boundary, private member grade 3, summary Nigeria operational state boundary, administrative level 1, view field details. You can click on this view field details to read more about the data, but we are concerned about to download the data. So you just click on download. Okay, now when you click on download, now you have, are you downloading, because we are talking about boundaries now, are you downloading it to Excel, which is CSV, or you are downloading it as KML, or you are downloading it as shapefile, or you are downloading it as JSON, okay? Or you are downloading it as a file database, okay? These are different formats of GIS data, right? You remember we talk about these things, okay? So now, but we are using a shapefile, so we'll just download it straight to shapefile. So I'll click on download. That is the shapefile download, okay? So you see the thing will start, I've started downloading. You see it on my download bar here. Okay, so it has finished download. All right. So if you go to your download now, let me share download. So if I go to my download now, so you see we have Nigeria state boundary. Okay, so it has downloaded. All right. Okay, so this data now, we can now load the data into QGIS or into your GIS environment. Okay, but before we do that, I'll go back to the Chrome again and then show you how you can download other data from there. So I'll share again and then I'll go back to Chrome. Now I'll go back. So if you are downloading a CSV, you can use CSV. You want to download KML, you can click on download KML, all right? So I'll go back. So now this time around, we downloaded a boundary and then we have seen different data that we have in boundary. Then let's see based on the fact that we are dealing with constructions, let's look at what they have in infrastructure. Okay. So I'll click on infrastructure. Okay, the same infrastructure we have in Nigeria and Democratic Republic of Congo. So I'll click on Nigeria and then I'll click on data catalog. Okay, so you see what they have here for facilities. We have healthcare facilities in Nigeria. So you want to download all the data of healthcare facilities in Nigeria. Mind you, the last update for this data is 21st, 2022. Okay. Now the one thing is that when you download data like that, you possibly actually you need to verify yourself, and then maybe if there's anything that you need to adjust, you can adjust it, because this data is developed by somebody, you understand, or by a particular organization. So it will not be 100% accuracy. Okay. For example, I remember there's the time I downloaded all the churches in Nigeria. And then when I load the point, I discovered that it's actually church, but you discover that they interchanged the name of the church. Maybe this particular church is actually so name, but what is showing on their data is different name. So you actually need to verify and then actually cross-check all the data, okay? So you don't actually put your 100% trust or your dependence on this particular data. You actually need to cross-check, okay? So now we have the healthcare facilities, we have the IDP sites, we have the village heads, we have the ambulance, we have the Nigeria prison, post office, water point, government building, Nigeria electricity substations, factories and industries in Nigeria, police stations, filling station in Nigeria, farms, schools, mosques, markets, churches, fire stations, and many more, okay? All right, so you can download any of those data, you can search for more data and have. So now, let's assume we are interested in downloading the, say, factories and industry in Nigeria, or let's say you want government buildings in Nigeria. Possibly you are making a research, or you are doing your project, or you are doing a renovation for government, and then you want to bring out all the facilities that government have, and then you can actually pinpoint the one that you think that you need to do facility renovation for, you understand? So these are different informations that you actually need this GIS data for. you actually need to put your mind and then concentrate and make your research. Because one thing is to actually have the data, another thing is to know how to use the data. One thing is GIS, one thing about GIS is that when somebody gives you a particular job to do, one thing that you need to do, as far as you need a GIS, there is the professionalism as a GIS personnel now is to actually know that, okay, I have this existing data somewhere that I can actually use to solve this issue. You understand? So now if you actually know that, okay, this is the data I'm supposed to use to solve the issue, to solve this particular issue now, then that is when you talk about the technical knowledge of how you can use the GIS tools, okay? But it's not about using the GIS tools. Another thing is for you to be fast in data so that you know that, okay, when somebody asks you for social data, you can actually know where you can get them from or produce that particular data for that person, okay? So let's say I want to download all the buildings in Nigeria, all the government building in Nigeria, sorry, not all the building in Nigeria, all the government building in Nigeria. And as I said, mind you, this data, the last update of this data is October. You can see it here. It's October 24th, 2022, right? So I'll just click on it if I want to download this particular data. And then I wait for it based on the fact that we are using internet. Okay, so now we have a download option. As I said, you can click on view more details so that you can see details of it. You see, we have a view details, view map. You can actually view the map from here showing the informations, but we are not interested in that. We just want to download the data. So I'll click on download. All right.
I seem not to have gotten the site you are using, please.
Grade 3. See the name.
Which site are you using?
Grade 3. See the name here. Are you seeing it? GRID3.
Outline of grade 3 on my platform here seems to be a bit different from what you're using.
Okay, is it like this? I see the second environment.
Yes, I have this and the second one.
Okay. The outline is different. And are you in grid 3.org? www.grid3.org. That is a website. That is a site name.
Okay.
So look at the top bar if it is actually grid3.org. Okay.
Okay, it's not. Let me see.
So if it is different, instead of searching for it on Google, you can just type the website direct. Just type www.grid3.org to take you to this environment because that is the official website address. Okay, so we continue. We want to download this government building in Nigeria. So we are downloading as shapefile. So I'll click and download it as shapefile. So you see it has it's downloading now. So I think it has been downloaded. So I open to see. All right. Okay, so now this is a good example on how you can be able to use different or download different data from grid3.org. Okay. All right. So now we go to our grid3 Nigeria. That's grid3 Nigeria. That is grid3.gov.ng. All right. So the same way that you download from there, the same way you have download from, but you see that here now is only showing Nigerian map. Okay. You discover that the other one is showing African map. Okay. But this one is showing Nigerian map. And then these are different data we have. Okay. These are different data we have for Nigeria. So now, you can decide to select the states that you want to download the data from. You see that you can hover through the states, or first of all, you can select the data, the kind of data that you want. Then you now select the state. But you can select the state, then it will now give you all the data that is available for that particular state. So any of these methods you can follow. So let's assume I select, let me select Kaduna. Okay, now Kaduna have administrative boundaries, education, health and safety, religion, water, sanitation, commerce, energy, public facilities and settlement. So let's say I click on education in Kaduna. Then we have primary school, we have Kaduna private schools, we have Kaduna public schools, you understand? So now all these things depend on your states, okay? So select any state you want. If I go back and then instead of selecting Kaduna now, I select Niger State, okay? Niger has administrative, commerce, health, so now, and then education, public facility, security, water, sanitation, settlement, and agriculture. So let's assume I click on health. Okay, I have Niger Fire Station, Niger Health. Okay, Niger Health Facilities, Niger Laboratory. So let's assume anyone that you want to download, let's download Niger Health Facilities. I'll click on Niger Health Facilities. And then if you look at this now, we have this is the data that I want to click on it. So you want to download, so you click on it. That is to say you check it, and then you click on download. So you see that it's preparing to download. So it has, you see, I've started downloading on my downloading bar here. All right, so we have the Niger data here. So now you have seen how you can download from any of those websites, either the grid3.org or Grid3 Nigeria. Okay,